So where does your role helping all these startups and founders fit in with what you were saying earlier about you knew your whole life that what was going to be happening right now in these times? Like, where does that fit in with your sort of life role here?
Oh, okay, so I'm reading a pitch deck, right? Everybody buries the lead. Everybody buries the Maybe they don't realize it's the lead. So I change it around. I said, this is your story. We don't know your story. You want to differentiate? This is your story. I can see things maybe they can't see.
Hmm.
A lot of times they fight me on it. They usually do. I'm usually right. I'm always right. Not always right, but I'm always right. Sometimes they listen, sometimes they don't. If you don't want to listen, go with God, Anjin-san. Okay, not my company, it's yours. I've been around the block a few times.
How do
Been
you how do you get paid?
Oh, I charge for. I don't vet these decks and make introductions when I feel appropriate to investors for free. I take it no.
But do
Although
you,
because I have
when they
this
get
newsletter.
funded, do you take a percentage or do you?
Oh, I can't take a percentage. I'm not a broker dealer. No, I come on as a consultant. And no, I don't wait till they get funded because I take payment upfront. This is why I was working with a founder, made introductions, had her meeting with. There was a one fund, loved her, absolutely loved her. They told her how big the check was. They were about to write the check. They told her what the check would be. So they brought her in for one last final meeting, and I said, "You need to take me with you." She said, "I don't need you. This is the last one. I don't need you to." I said, "You're going to blow it. You need me there. You don't know." And she didn't listen, and she went. The check was there. So they said, "Well, if we're going to give you this check, and what do you expect your bottom line is going to be by the next quarter?" And she said, 10 million. They didn't even expect. No, that's completely unrealistic. And they realized that she maybe did not understand and maybe did not have a handle on things, and they did not give her the check.
Hmm.
I would have known what to say. She didn't. Founders, you think you know, but you really don't know. You might know your business, but you don't know investors. You don't necessarily know the landscape. Learn something. Read the newsletter. Go and read some of the archives. Learn something about the industry. I'm not saying that you need to go to investors to start your company, but if you're going to go to investors, get to know them. And you should come to my breakfast too. Very good idea to get to know investors before you need the money. There was this one founder who used to come to the breakfasts. It didn't matter who was speaking. If it was an early stage investor, later stage, Series A, she came to every single one, talked, asked questions, blah, blah, blah. She did raise her seed round. And when it was time to raise the Series A, she raised it to two investors whom she met at the breakfast and stayed in touch with. That's another thing. Stay in touch. Stay in touch. One of my favorite stories. What's his name? I used to remember his name. But he had this company, spacing out the name of the company, but I can see him. He was Israeli. And he decided on one investor. He wanted Fred Wilson to be his investor. Fred Wilson from Union Square Ventures. And he targeted Fred Wilson. So Fred took the pitch and Fred said no. So, okay, so 6 months later, he sends Fred an update. And Fred says, so a few months later, he sends Fred another update. And Fred said no. This went on for 18 months until Fred said yes. He hit the magic spot. Fred said yes.
Hmm.